Good evening. My name is Mary Bada. I work for the YWCS of Kenya in Nairobi. Today I'm here to participate in the COP29 pre-dialogue, and we are basically highlighting the issues, the gaps, and why is it important that women participate into this discussion, either pre or even during. So one of the things that have really come out in terms of women participation and leadership, which has been a very key component into supporting matters to do with climate change. The other issue that has also come out strongly is the gap between where the real change takes place and where policies are formulated and where our goals are also formulated. So we really need to align well with all the three aspects of where the real change takes place. Let's take an example of when it rains or when drought comes. The most people who are affected mostly are women and children, and we want to see out of that more women participating into the decision-making tables. We want more of their voices to be heard. We want to see more financing for women or climate change initiatives that are also inclusive. That means women, persons with disabilities, and young people are also included. I feel like women participation has been key. So personally, I feel like women have not fully participated into the discussion or into the table. So for this year, we will really advocate or support women, more women participating into the process, from where it starts and up to where it ends, including budgeting, including travels, including participation that is specifically into the decision-making tables, where we can have more women participation and more women voices being raised, more women issues being advocated for in relation to climate change. Because when the drought comes, when the rains comes, when the climate changes, most of the effects, women are the ones that are affected most compared to the rest.
What do you think hinders this participation? Because you've really highlighted it. What hinders women to participate fully in decisions and COP?
We really need to appreciate that women voices are very strong, but sometimes we lack the support that is required for us to participate in such dialogues. One of the things is proper flow of information. We need to understand where do we start from and where are we ending in this discussion. And then the other issue is financing. Yes, I am interested to go to participate, to lead this, to initiate that, but I need some support. It means financial support. Most women want to do this and that, but sometimes most of them are found out of the cycle because they do not have the power to support themselves, and they do not have other organizations that come out strongly to support fully on their initiatives and their desires.
Do you think lack of awareness also hinders this kind of discussions?
Yes, that is one. I think I highlighted it earlier. Lack of
Okay, my name is Nancy from Kajiado, and I'm happy to be here today for this workshop on pre-COP 29. And the main reason as to why I attended this forum is to get to understand issues climate and also get them to air the problems that we are facing there as women in Kajiado County in terms of climate. And one of the most challenging things that we do face in climate issues is the scarcity of water. And because water really limits us, especially in farming activities. Like implementation of like if we can have bills that will allow easy access of water, even if it means in terms of drilling of boreholes, water harvesting structures, so that at the end of the day women are able to access water even for small-scale farming as a form of livelihood diversification, because most of the time when we get issues with the drought, women end up losing a lot of livestock, or sometimes they move away in search of pastures, and they left vulnerable back at home. But if they got access to water, they could practice, even if it's small scale farming, irrigation, using irrigation, so that they are able to get some produce which they can sell in place of milk that is will already have gone or reduced, so that they can supplement that income in running day-to-day activities, and also even
Okay, so my name is Collins Diofolo. I come from Suba, that is in Homabay County. I represent an organization that is community-based called MEMA organization. MEMA is a Kiswahili word, basically meaning good deeds. So the organization is more of good deeds. So MEMA is divided into two categories. One category, the first category, deals with environmental conservation strategies that we work with. We work on tree planting, we work on mass communication, mass teaching and we also work on sustainable transport. That the current project that we are working on is sanitizing the mass on using sustainable transport such as cycling and also walking in short distances. We also plant grass to avoid the pollution of environment. We curb the dust that we get indulged in mostly during the droughts. Then the second phase of MEMA organization, we deal with mental health awareness. We also deal with menstrual hygiene, and broadly we deal with the charity work and also the cleanup activities. Alright, based on climatic change and the call for youth, things that we've observed is that in the remote areas such as the place where I'm coming from, Suba, youths don't really understand the conversation around climatic change and also the actions that may be need on them. So what we do largely is educating them on this conversation and also educating them on some vocabularies that they meet, such as the COP, ELCOI, and other vocabularies that may be ambiguous to them. You find that in a society, the youths are the energy of the society, and therefore this initiative that we are doing, or even the organization that I'm coming from, is youth-centered, because we find that if at all we can target the younger generation, then in the next years we'll be having a productive society. So youths need to be in the picture, because you find that the young people, we have brilliant ideas, and also
that I am experiencing when I go farming up country is access to fertilizer because of the price of the fertilizer. Another challenge I'm experiencing is access to funds to grow my farming business. Banks have not created a system where they are de-risking access to funds, especially for women, young women, and young adults, if you may. And some of the challenges I'm also experiencing with climate change is the heat. The heat is a bit too much, and it's a bit all over. As we've seen, there's now snow in South Africa, so you can imagine the increase in heat that's happening in Kenya. I'm not able to farm longer hours the way I used to because of the sun. I'm now farming for shorter hours, and yeah, our president was once a farmer, so if he could make things easier for the youth in terms of farming, because this is a source of livelihood, it's also another source of accessing funds, because I believe that Kenya is bigger than Nairobi. We are not all in the city. Some of us are trying to, make a living outside of what the city has to offer, and yes. So part of my expectations for COP29 is for the government to create policies that will make farming easier for the youth, especially for young women and young girls through access of funds. And another expectation of mine is for there to be resource mobilization